The world is never going to run out of oil, ever. For one, global energy demand is slowing and it's set to peak in about 10 years, at least according to the International Energy Agency. Take a look at this chart of global energy demand by 2050 and you can see oil is this red bar here and it is going to peak, just like they said, in 2030. Look at the other forms of energy that are going to take over. In yellow, we have natural gas. That's a no-brainer, and you're going to see it'll have a steady pattern even well into the 2050s. Fortunately, coal in black, that is also going to be dropping. And you could see orange, clean energy, green, renewables. Those are set to take over and skyrocket once we get past 2030. So the whole we're running out of oil nonsense is just that. Nonsense. I remember hearing that when I was a kid 40 years ago. That whole scare was called peak oil, and it made a lot of oil folks a lot of money. And this reminds me of peak coal. The 17, 18, and even early 1900s, coal was the #1 form of energy. And of course, the people who owned most of the coal reserves wanted to keep making a profit, so they started spreading this idea around of peak coal, that we are eventually going to start running out of this coal, so it's a finite resource. Let's prepare. Just look at the coal question, which was published in 1865. And here we are, in the year 2025, 160 years later, there is no shortage of coal on the planet, and the same is true of oil. If you want to understand the abundance of oil on our planet, we should first think about how oil is made. So join me in this little rabbit hole, if you will. Oil doesn't come from dinosaurs or any other decomposing mammals that was a quadruped or a biped. It comes from algae and plankton that's been decomposing for hundreds of millions of years in any marine environment. No, I don't mean US Marines. I'm talking about ocean and sea life. Now, as the algae and plankton die, they fall down, they get trapped in the silt, and as millions of years go by, it gets pressurized and heated to about 150 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit for tens, if not hundreds of millions of years, and it keeps piling on every single day. Now, it's true that the world does produce a little bit of oil every day, but not enough to fit the energy needs of the whole planet. I mean, this planet consumes a little over 100 million barrels of oil a day, and maybe estimates between 3 to 5 barrels to maybe 5 to 10,000 barrels a day of oil are naturally made. So let's just use mathematics and make a conservative estimate. Let's say the world only makes 1,000 barrels a day, and it's been making that much since these plankton and algae existed. So 400, maybe even 500 million years ago. So let's say 1,000 barrels a day, every day for a year, 365,000 barrels. Now for a million years, you have 365 billion barrels. For 100 million years, you have 36.5 trillion barrels. This happens for a couple hundred billion years and you have well over 100 to 150 trillion barrels of oil. So that is enough crude oil produced to last the world right now centuries. Now, obviously, I don't think there's that many barrels of oil easily available for us to just grab up and get, but I'm sure a fraction of it is there, a hefty one. The American oil industry is one of the most, if not the most, wealthy and powerful bloc on the planet, and they are constantly researching new ways to extract oil for cheap. The reason why the United States became one of the lowest to the highest producers of crude oil over the past 20 years is because of advances to this technology, especially when it comes to shale extraction. Right now, the United States has 4 times more shale oil than all of Saudi Arabia's proven reserves, well over 2 trillion barrels. But most likely, that shale won't even be touched because electric vehicles are dominating the auto market, and of course, like I mentioned before, clean energy and renewables are becoming so much more efficient and cheap. If you want to know more about this, I've attached 2 earlier posts just about this in the captions. Take a look. I am the Geo Husar, and if you want to know more about oil, its history, and its potential for future applications, let me know. Thanks for watching.